I use headphone a lot, from editing to watching movies to listening to music. अच्छा I can't dance. और ऊपर से मैं पिंडी में रहता हूँ. और उसका मतलब lately, I've been thinking about all the noise and how it can affect our life. So I started doing some research and found some horrifying stats. According to WHO, by 2050, nearly 2.5 billion people are projected to have some degree of hearing loss. So few questions started to pop in my head. Am I one in that billion? What can I do to avoid this? Time where we are surrounded by so much noise, how can I come to know that it isn't affecting me negatively? इन सब सवालों के जवाब के लिए you first need to understand the science behind hearing.
Like, if you wear headphones, you're not automatically going to develop hearing loss.
This is Dr. Amy.
I'm a doctor of audiology, so I often go by Dr. Amy.
Firstly, you need to understand ear's anatomy. Our ear has three parts: outer, middle, and inner ear. Whenever sound reaches our outer ear, it leads to the vibration of eardrum, which leads to the oscillation of bones in the middle ear, and that signals cochlea that has the hair-like structure.
Hair cells are healthy. They stand up kind of like a field of wheat. And when the sound comes through, it looks like a tornado has come through and they're all twisted up. If you're lucky, they're able to sort of rebuild themselves back straight up, nice and tall.
What happens if sound is too loud or duration is too long?
If you do that often enough, or if the sound is loud enough, the damage is permanent.
In other words, there is no remedy of hear loss. Now the question is, what determines the loudness and what is the normal range? This is explained beautifully by Kimberly H. Dienson in her TED Talk.
When we're exposed to 85 decibels or higher for an extended period of time. Now, a decibel is the unit we use to measure the intensity of sound. Normal conversation, 60 to 70 decibels, and considered a safe level of hearing. But once we get to 85 decibels or higher, we are now at a loss, we're at risk of hearing loss. How do I know when it's 85 decibels? A good rule of thumb is if you're standing arm's distance from someone and have to raise your voice to have a normal conversation, then more than likely that background is 85 decibels or higher.
One important thing is decibels are measured in algorithmic scales, meaning if I go from 85 to 88 decibels, I'm actually doubling the loudness.
And remember, we said those receptors are tuned to specific frequencies. So once you permanently destroy them, you lose the ability to hear those frequencies for the rest of your life.
Now what we can do? Nowadays, a lot of people are using noise cancellation headphones.
Noise cancellation is going to be better for your ears. The reason is it's going to block out some of that background noise so you don't have to crank the volume up as high.
So the headphone recognizes the surrounding frequency and it generates the anti-frequency which cancels out the effect. But it doesn't work all the time.
Sudden loud sound, it doesn't have a chance to analyze and decide what to do with that. So usually the sound is just going to come through.
Main takeaways here is that we have to be more conscious of our habits. We have to avoid listening to loud music and excessive usage of headphones. Since the hair loss is permanent, prevention is better than cure. And lastly, I still can't dance. नहीं होता, डांस नहीं करना आता.